Okay, Incredible Immune System 101 course. Some of you have sent some questions, so I'm going to answer them. I've written them down here. How long is the course? So it's between 13 to 14 hours. Is it taught through videos? Absolutely. We are not doing just PDFs where you have to read through them. You cannot learn the immune system that way. But what we've done is they're in short bite-sized videos. So you have 20 modules. Okay, and then 3 bonus modules, so that's 23 modules in total. And each module has mini videos in each module. Some modules will have, for example, 8 videos in a module. Then we have 2 extra free bonuses, which are the fermentation guidebook, how to ferment food in your home, in your kitchen. Very simple. Anybody and everybody can do it, and that's what I want to encourage. We want to build that microbiome. We want to build our gut health. And then we've also got another bonus, which is a workbook toolkit, which is all about capacity. Because if you don't have the capacity, how are you going to work with your immune system? So I'm just going to quickly go through some of the modules. So the first one is just a welcome. Then what is the immune system? What is it? People talk about the immune system, but what is it? Then we go through natural and artificial immunity. What are they? What's the difference? And then the genesis, so how does the immune system, where the cells come from, etc. So go through that. And then there's an innate immune system, and it goes through the barriers as well. So we talk about bile. Did you know bile is part of the immune system? And then we talk about the barriers, the talking, living barriers, your mucosal lining, which are these barriers. Very, very important. So, and through that, talk about a huge section on fever, inflammation, and then the innate immune system. And then we go through inflammation and fats, the importance of essential fatty acids, omega-3s, omega-6s, why omega-6s are absolutely vital in starting the resolution of inflammation. Because everybody talks about omega-3s are anti-inflammatory, take omega-3s, take omega-3s. But I go through a full module on how to analyze a fatty acid comprehensive test, okay? So that actually involves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos. The fatty acid one on the fatty acid metabolic profile testing. Okay, so we go through all the different fatty acids, why the cell membrane is important in immunity. And then what else do we do? So much that we covered. The bridge. So the bridge between the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system. Then we go through the adaptive immune system, the fascinating adaptive immune system, which is all about memory. But how does it memorize? What does it need to memorize? So bring in nutrition, we bring in the circadian rhythm, we talk about the cortisol awakening response, and then of course we're going to talk about the immune system community, because the immune system does not work by itself. It works with other systems. For example, nervous system, absolutely important. Immune system and the nervous system are the 2 systems that communicate with the external world. And then we talk about cardiovascular system, the lymphatic system, the respiratory system. Lots of wonderful information there. And then, of course, we talk about the Nobel Prize. Did you know 2025, the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine was awarded to 3 scientists, and it was in connection to particular cells in the immune cell called the T regulator cells. Okay, so we go through that as well. Really important cells that I think, well, especially every practitioner should really know about, and anybody who's got an autoimmune condition, that will be a really important area to stay on top of and in sync with as more and more research is done. And then the window of tolerance, so we go into that because of course coaching, psychological coaching is really important. And boosting immunity. What is boosting immunity? People talk about boosting immunity. What, you take vitamin A and then some zinc, is that boosting immunity? And you'll learn a lot more about that. We don't believe in boosting immunity here at the New School of Nutritional Medicine. And then food allergies and intolerances. What are the differences and the different types of tests? Immune training and vaccines. So basically, what's in a vaccine? What are they? Natural immunity and antibodies, and also vaccine-induced immunity and antibodies. What does it mean to be immunized? What your choices are. Okay, so if you choose to either or the jabs, what are your choices? Can you delay? What if you delay? What about homeoprophylaxis? So I go through all that on the course. Talk about nutrigenomics and functional testing, which testing could be absolute, well, I think not could be, they are incredibly valuable if you are deciding to go down the vaccination route, for example, what tests will be really useful. So go through, and also go through paracetamol and ibuprofen. What do they do and why are they not recommended in the NICE guidelines to reduce fevers? Really, really important. And how paracetamol reduces glutathione, all that is covered. Nurturing immunity, and I go through blood sugar balancing, microbiome. There's a whole module on the microbiome, okay? And we talk about short chain fatty acids, butyrate, propionate, acetic acid, and how they communicate with the immune system. Okay, so that's where the microbiome is in there. And I think we cover, so there's 7 videos on the microbiome, and it goes into detail about how you support it and the prebiotics, probiotics, etc. And then introducing the early years. Early years, how can you not cover, if you're covering the immune system, you have to cover the early years. So with the early years, pregnancy and the immune system, how the immune system is educated in the early years. What's important in the early years, and how weaning from a microbiome and a nervous system lens. So how do you wean your little one, if you've got a little one, or if you're a practitioner, you're going to work with little ones, how is the best way to wean them onto solids with a microbiome lens and a nervous system lens? So there's several videos in that. Then also there's a section on probiotics. Why? When do you choose probiotics? What do they really do? How do you choose a probiotic? And how to read a label, a probiotic label. And then the bonus is asthma. The lung story versus the whole body story. So how do we as nutritional therapists view asthma versus mainstream medicine? Really go into detail, and there's 5 sections on that, 5 videos, and the hygiene hypothesis, of course, and the train theory. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful for all of you who've been asking these wonderful questions, and hopefully you might see more of me in the course. Bye-bye.